Storytel presents Grimm's Fairy Tales, written by the brothers Grimm, retold by Kenneth Boer Anderson, translated from the Danish by Jennifer Russell, read by Andrew Wincott. The Girl Without Hands. Like another famous tale, this story also begins with an apple tree, two people, and a snake. That, however, is where the similarity ends. He had prayed to the good Lord so many times, but what was the use? The miller still dreamt of the days back when he didn't have to count every penny, when there was always butter on their bread, and he could buy his wife the latest fashions, back when people would curtsy and bow when he passed by. But their earnings had not kept up with their expenses. The coffers had grown less and less full, and now people no longer curtsied and bowed, but shook their heads and wrinkled their noses at them. They had gone from fine to fortuneless, and now they owned nothing more than a ramshackle mill and the apple tree that stood in the garden behind it. No, he was done praying to a god who didn't listen anyway, and the miller's thoughts had taken a different, darker turn. There are others you can pray to, he thought, grunting as he picked up yet another log and tossed it into his basket. He was out gathering firewood, and it pained him, because his back was acting up, but even more so because it was something he had once paid others to do for him. The sun was baking down from the sky, the sweat stung in his eyes, and in his heart the miller cursed the fate that had become his. Suddenly, a frightful chill ran through him. The hairs on his neck stood on end, and he looked up. In front of him stood an old man, a very old man. His face was as furrowed as tree bark, and his eyes were so sunken into their sockets that it felt like peering into two caverns. But deep within the darkness, something glittered, like stars on a clear, frosty night. Who are you?" The miller's voice was a whisper he himself could hardly hear, but evidently there was nothing wrong with the old man's ears, because one of the wrinkles in his face split into a smile. "You know what I am."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?